Like a star drawn inexorably to its constellation, your presence here is no mere chance, but a sacred summons from the universe itself. In the silent weave of eternity, you have been guided to this moment, where words become lanterns, illuminating the path to your deepest truth. This audiobook unveils the hidden law that governs destiny, a law as ancient as the cosmos, and as intimate as your next breath. The universe in its infinite wisdom is both the loom and the weaver, spinning threads of thought, belief, and vibration into the tapestry of your life. Every feeling you nurture, every vision you hold, sends ripples into the boundless field of creation, shaping the world that unfolds before you. The law of attraction steady as the rising sun operates, not through force, but through resonance. Energy answers energy, and like calls to like. Your mind is not a passive observer, but a silent compass steering the course of reality. What you hold within your dreams, your doubts, your deepest desires, becomes the pattern that manifests without. This is not new knowledge, but an ancient remembrance whispered through ages by mystics and sages who knew you are a co-creator with the infinite. Over the next 7 days, this audiobook will guide you from knowing to being, from concept to living truth. Through stories of transformation and sacred practices, you will witness how life bends to the frequency you embody. No grand ceremony is required, only the opening of your heart to realms unseen. Each chapter offers a key to align with the universe's subtle currents, where synchronicities echo destiny's voice. As you listen, know this: the universe has always conspired in your favor, orchestrating gentle ripples that expand into oceans of transformation. Let curiosity be your guide, for within these words lies the power to awaken your true path, a path already written in the stars, waiting for you to claim it. Before we dive in, take a second to hit that like button and let us know in the comments where you're listening from. You might be surprised to find someone listening from the same place as you. Chapter 1. The window opens. In the quiet folds of a village nestled among ancient hills, a merchant named Clarence stood each morning before his shop, his heart heavy with worry. His shelves, once brimming with goods, grew sparse as customers dwindled. No one comes anymore. He muttered his words, weaving a tapestry of lack that draped over his days. The universe, ever attentive, mirrored his belief with unerring precision, and his shop remained empty. Yet one dawn, as Clarence arranged his wares under the soft glow of sunrise, an old sage paused at his doorway. "Your words weave the fabric of your days," the sage observed, his voice steady as the earth. "The universe responds not to what you see, but to what you believe." Clarence, skeptical yet intrigued, let the words linger in his mind, like a seed planted in fertile soil. That evening, despite the empty shop, Clarence chose to act from a new conviction. He lit all his lanterns, their golden light spilling into the street, and arranged his finest goods with care. "I welcome abundance," he declared aloud, his voice trembling with hope. Within hours, a traveling caravan, drawn as if by an unseen force, filled his shop with buyers. Through this simple shift, Clarence glimpsed an eternal truth. His thoughts were electrical currents, pulsing through the vast expanse of creation, summoning experiences that matched their frequency. Whether he spoke of lack or abundance, the universe responded with equal fidelity. Consider Hattie, a woman who yearned for companionship in a distant town. Instead of dwelling in loneliness, she tended her garden as if preparing it for shared moments. She set 2 chairs on her porch, brewed tea for 2, and smiled at the empty seat as if it were already filled. Her joy preceded evidence, and within weeks a fellow gardener moved into the neighboring house. Their shared passion for flowers blossomed into a deep friendship, proving that vibration must precede manifestation. The universe operates through immutable laws, like attracts like, and energy flows where attention goes. Science echoes this ancient wisdom. Our thoughts generate electromagnetic waves, subtle yet measurable, that ripple through the field of consciousness. Neuroscientists have shown that focused intention can rewire neural pathways, aligning our minds with desired outcomes. In cultures across time, from Vedic sages to indigenous shamans, this truth has been revered. What you hold in your mind shapes the fabric of reality. Your thoughts are not fleeting whispers, but magnetic forces drawing corresponding experiences into your life. The power lies not in waiting for evidence, but in believing so purely that evidence must follow. In another era, the philosopher Plato spoke of the world as a reflection of eternal forms, suggesting that our inner ideas shape the outer world. Similarly, modern psychology confirms that a mindset of abundance fosters behaviors that attract opportunity, while scarcity breeds hesitation. Clarence and Hattie, though worlds apart, embodied this universal principle. Their stories are not mere tales, but mirrors of your own potential. You too send signals into the infinite, crafting your reality with every thought. To anchor this truth, practice this ancient ritual daily. Close your eyes for 10 minutes and settle into stillness. Immerse yourself in the vivid sensation of living your deepest desire. If you seek abundance, feel the warmth of prosperity flowing through your life. If you yearn for love, experience the joy of sharing your heart fully. Let gratitude fill every cell as if your dream has already manifested. This gratitude is the conductor through which manifestation flows. In the realm of energy, feeling precedes form. As you practice, consider the lotus rising pristine from muddy waters, a symbol across cultures of purity, born from intention. Your mind is the water, your thoughts the seeds. What you nurture now will bloom tomorrow. Begin today and watch as the universe, like a faithful scribe, transcribes your inner vision into the story of your life. Chapter 2. The Doorway Within. In the heart of an ancient city's bustling marketplace, a young artist named Roy painted portraits with a feverish need for approval. Each stroke of his brush was accompanied by nervous glances, seeking validation from passers-by. Some days brought praise, lifting his spirit like a breeze catching a kite. Others brought silence, leaving him adrift in doubt. His outer world mirrored his inner uncertainty, a cycle of seeking that perpetuated itself. The universe, ever faithful, responded not to his talent, but to the energy beneath it, broadcasting his need for approval into more situations that demanded it. Roy's heart, tethered to external voices, wavered like autumn leaves in the wind. One twilight, an old master painter paused to watch Roy's work. Instead of offering critique, he posed a piercing question. "Why do you paint?" The words struck Roy like a bell resonating deep within. That night, alone with his canvas, he reconnected with the pure joy of creation, painting not for others, but for the fire in his soul. As he worked from this space of inner certainty, his art transformed. Collectors soon sought him out, drawn not just by his technique, but by the quiet confidence radiating from his work. The universe, like a mirror, reflected his newfound alignment, rearranging reality to match his inner truth. In a quiet valley, a woman named Lillian lived modestly, her days shadowed by worry about scarcity. Each coin she earned was clutched with anxiety, her mind fixated on what might be lost. Then one spring morning she began a simple practice. Standing in her small garden, she whispered, "I have food to eat today." Gazing at her humble cottage, she murmured, "I have shelter that keeps me warm." Day by day, she acknowledged these gifts, and something shifted in her energy field. A neighbor offered partnership in a thriving textile business. Her garden yielded surplus to sell at market. Her grateful heart became fertile soil for prosperity, proving that what you appreciate appreciates. This principle is not mere sentiment, but a law of energy echoed in both science and philosophy. Psychologists note that gratitude rewires the brain's strengthening neural pathways associated with optimism and resilience. When you focus on lack, you remain locked in scarcity's embrace. When you recognize abundance even in its smallest forms, you tune your vibration to attract more. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught that true wealth lies in appreciating what you already possess, a wisdom mirrored in cultures, from Buddhist monks to African griots, who celebrate the present as a gateway to abundance. Roy and Lillian's transformations reveal a universal truth. Confidence and gratitude are not outcomes of success, but magnetic forces that attract it. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner certainty. When you chase approval, you signal insufficiency. When you stand in your truth, reality bends to meet you. Socially, we see this in leaders who inspire, not through titles, but through authentic presence, their certainty drawing others like moths to a flame. To embody this wisdom practice, this sacred ritual. As each day closes, take your journal and write 5 blessings you experienced. The warmth of sunlight, a kind word, a moment of peace, a task completed, a shared laugh. Let gratitude overflow as you recall each one. Feel these gifts as precious gems, illuminating your path, like stars guiding a weary traveler. This practice opens unseen corridors of fortune, for gratitude is the highest frequency of abundance. Like a river carving a canyon, your consistent appreciation shapes a life of richness, revealing the doorway within that leads to all you seek. Chapter 3. The Whisper of Trust. In the vibrant pulse of an ancient city, a merchant's daughter named Pearl stood on her balcony, watching trade caravans pass through the gates below. Each departing caravan felt like a missed opportunity slipping through her fingers. Gifted with her father's keen eye for valuable goods, she hesitated to make bold trades, paralyzed by fear of choosing wrongly. Day after day, she calculated and recalculated, waiting for a perfect moment that never arrived. Her thoughts spiraled into patterns of regret, each one tightening the knot of indecision. The universe, ever responsive, mirrored her hesitation, presenting more moments that demanded caution. One evening, as twilight softened the city's edges, a realization stirred within Pearl. The universe operates not through perfect timing, but through perfect trust. This truth was echoed by a traveler named Victor, who journeyed toward the Eastern Kingdoms with a carefully plotted route. A landslide forced him onto an unmarked mountain path, and instead of resisting, he surrendered to the detour. This new direction led him to a hidden valley, rich with rare herbs, which later made his fortune in ways his original plans could never have achieved. The universe speaks in the language of synchronicity, where what seems like interference is often divine intervention. This principle resonates across time and disciplines. In neuroscience, trust aligns with a flow state where the brain's prefrontal cortex quiets, allowing intuitive decisions to surface effortlessly. Cultures from the Taoists of ancient China to the Sufi mystics have revered surrender as a path to divine alignment, teaching that resistance creates friction, while trust opens channels for grace. Pearl and Victor learned that the law of attraction responds not to meticulous plans, but to an energetic state of allowing. When you release your grip on how life must unfold, you create space for the universe to exceed your vision. Socially, we see this in those who thrive amidst uncertainty, entrepreneurs who pivot during crises, or artists who embrace unexpected inspiration. Their trust in life's flow transforms obstacles into stepping stones. Philosophically, this echoes the Stoic practice of amor fati, loving one's fate, which invites you to see every turn as part of a greater design. Your role is not to orchestrate every detail, but to align with what feels right in your heart. Trusting each bend leads closer to your highest good. Pearl began to act on this wisdom, making small trades guided by intuition rather than endless deliberation. Opportunities emerged as if summoned, her confidence growing with each step. Victor's herbs became a symbol of life's unexpected gifts, proof that trust is not passive waiting, but active alignment with the universe's wisdom. When you resist life's natural flow, you block your blessings. When you release resistance, you allow creation's current to carry you forward. To embody this truth, begin each morning with this sacred practice. Speak aloud. I trust what comes my way is for my good. Feel these words resonate in your body, expanding until trust becomes your natural state. Like a river smoothing stones over time, this declaration unlocks the doorway to divine timing. In moments of doubt, recall the eagle soaring, not by forcing the wind, but by gliding with its currents. Trust is your wings, and the universe is the breeze that lifts you toward destiny. Chapter 4. The Seeds We Plant. In a village cradled by rolling hills, Elsie tended her garden each morning, her hands moving mechanically through the soil, while her mind lingered on past disappointments. Each failed venture, each missed opportunity, felt like a thorny vine wrapped around her heart, choking out hope. Her garden flourished with vibrant blooms, yet she saw only the wilted leaves and barren patches where seeds had failed to sprout. One dawn, as storm clouds gathered, an old woman appeared at her garden gate. "Your flowers tell a story," she said, gesturing to the mix of thriving blossoms and bare earth. "Just as these plants grew from seeds you planted weeks ago, your life grows from the seeds of your thoughts." The words pierced Elsie's heart, revealing a truth each bitter memory she nursed was a seed, each moment of self-doubt, a root spreading beneath her days. In a bustling city marketplace, Leonard, a merchant, discovered this same principle. His sharp words, quick to criticize himself, and others, had withered his relationships like plants in drought. Then he began a practice of speaking kindness first, to himself, saying, "I am worthy of love," each morning. He extended this warmth to others, planting seeds of appreciation in every interaction. Within months, customers lingered at his stall, drawn by his genuine warmth. Fellow merchants sought his company. The air around him shimmered with possibility, not because he changed his circumstances, but because he changed the seeds he planted. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, nurtures whatever you sow in the fertile soil of your mind, without judgment, providing conditions for growth with equal dedication. This truth is woven into the fabric of existence, affirmed by both science and ancient wisdom. Psychologists note that cognitive biases shape our reality. Focusing on negativity reinforces patterns of lack, while positive focus cultivates opportunity. In Vedic traditions, the concept of sankalpa emphasizes intention as a seed that shapes destiny, a belief echoed in Native American teachings, where thoughts are seen as arrows shot into the future. Your thoughts are not fleeting whispers, but living seeds, each one carrying the potential to bloom into tomorrow's reality. Socially, we see this in communities that thrive through collective positivity. Think of cooperative movements where shared optimism yields abundance, or individuals who transform adversity by reframing their mindset. Philosophically, this aligns with existentialist ideas that we create meaning through our choices. Elsie and Leonard's stories are mirrors for your own power. Every thought, word, and feeling is a seed. Plant them wisely, for the universe mirrors back your harvest with precision. To embody this principle, embrace this sacred practice. Select one sentence that embodies love or abundance, such as "I am blessed beyond measure," or "Love flows to me easily." Speak it many times throughout your day, while preparing breakfast, during tasks before sleep. Let these words take root in the fertile soil of your subconscious, like a gardener sowing seeds in spring. Continue this for 7 days, watching as your chosen thoughts sprout in the garden of your life. Picture a mighty oak born from a single acorn, its roots deep and branches wide. So too will your intentions grow, shaping a reality as vibrant as the blooms you choose to nurture. Chapter 5. The River Flow. In a village cradled by rolling hills, Mabel sat each morning at her window, her hands folded in her lap, yearning for the rush of possibility she saw in others' lives. She felt trapped in stillness, as if life passed her by, while she remained rooted in place. Each attempt to force progress, applying for new roles, chasing fleeting opportunities, left her more entangled in frustration. One dawn, as mist rose from the valley, an old woman appeared beneath her window. "The more you grip sand," she said, "the faster it slips through your fingers." Before Mabel could respond, the woman vanished, but her words echoed, revealing a truth. Mabel's desperate hold on how life should be was the very force holding her back. The universe operates like a mighty river, its currents carrying all that is meant for you. When you resist its flow, you create dams of tension that block abundance from reaching your shore. Striving becomes struggling, effort transforms into obstacle. In a distant city, Franklin, a merchant, learned this when his trading business faltered. Clinging to familiar paths, he fought against change until exhaustion forced him to pause. Listening to a subtle pull, he accepted an unexpected opportunity to teach his craft. By surrendering to this new current, doors opened, his influence expanded, his prosperity deepened, not through force, but through alignment with life's momentum. Science supports this wisdom. Psychological studies show that resistance to change increases stress, while acceptance fosters resilience and flow states where solutions emerge effortlessly. In Taoist philosophy, the concept of wu-wei, action through non-action, teaches that aligning with life's natural rhythm yields harmony. Across cultures, from Aboriginal Dreamtime stories to Zen parables, surrender is celebrated as a path to grace. Socially, we see this in innovators who pivot with market shifts, or communities that thrive by adapting to challenges. Their flexibility, a conduit for abundance. Mabel began to loosen her grip on life's steering wheel, focusing on small actions aligned with her heart's quiet nudges. Opportunities appeared first as droplets, then as a steady stream, carrying her toward new horizons. Franklin's willingness to flow with change transformed his life's trajectory, proving that prosperity flows to those who open their hands in acceptance. The ancient ones knew this. Just as water cannot be forced, uphill abundance cannot be coerced against its course. To embody this truth, practice the river meditation. When anxiety grips you, find a quiet moment and close your eyes. Envision yourself beside a gentle river, watching each worry, fear, or rigid expectation detach and float away with the current. Feel the release as you surrender, knowing the universe carries you precisely where you need to be. Let the river wash away all that blocks your path, leaving only the pure presence of allowing. Picture a leaf gliding effortlessly on the water's surface, carried not by force, but by trust in the stream. This practice, passed down through ages, aligns you with the flow of creation, where every desire finds its way to your shore. Chapter 6. The Mirror Speaks. In the clamor of a bustling marketplace, Harvey stood before his empty merchant stall, his face etched with bitterness. Day after day he watched others prosper, while his own ventures crumbled. "The world conspires against me," he muttered, seeing only obstacles wherever he looked. His words, heavy with defeat, painted his reality in shades of scarcity. One morning, a wise woman approached his stall and, instead of examining his sparse wares, placed a simple mirror upon his counter. "What do you see?" she asked. Harvey glimpsed his reflection, the scowl, the tension, the weariness in his eyes. "I see failure," he replied. She smiled knowingly and said, "Then that is what life will continue to show you." The universe operates as a grand mirror, reflecting the essence of your inner world with unflinching accuracy. When you perceive lack, the mirror shows scarcity. When you radiate worth, abundance appears. This is not coincidence, but the law of reflection, a principle as precise as gravity. Your consciousness creates before circumstances confirm. In a quiet town, Mildred faced chronic illness, her body plagued by pain. She met with criticism and blame. Learning the mirror law, she began to speak words of love to her reflection. "You are whole. You are healing. You are sacred." As her inner dialogue shifted from contempt to compassion, her body responded. Vitality returned, symptoms eased, and her natural radiance emerged, not through force, but through transforming her inner relationship with herself. This truth is woven into both science and philosophy. Neuroscience reveals that self-perception shapes brain patterns, influencing physical and emotional health. Positive self-talk can reduce stress hormones, fostering healing, while negative beliefs reinforce distress. Philosophically, the Hermetic principle of correspondence, as within, so without, echoes in traditions from Buddhism to Kabbalah, where the inner state is seen as the blueprint for external reality. Socially, we observe this in individuals whose confidence attracts opportunity, their inner light drawing others like stars to a constellation. Harvey's shift began when he chose to see possibility instead of problems. He softened his expression, spoke with renewed confidence, and within weeks customers flocked to his stall, sensing his transformed energy. The mirror never lies. It simply reflects what you believe about yourself and your place in the world. Your thoughts and feelings ripple outward, shaping manifestation with precision. Consider the lotus blooming pristine above murky waters, its beauty a reflection of its inner essence. So too does your inner world shape the outer, each belief a brushstroke on the canvas of reality. Mildred's healing and Harvey's prosperity are not mere stories, but invitations to look within, to see the divine spark that awaits your recognition. To embody this wisdom practice, the mirror blessing. Stand before a mirror in solitude and look deeply into your own eyes, beyond surface judgment to the eternal spirit within. Place your hand upon your heart and speak with conviction, "I honor and love who I see." Let this truth penetrate every cell, shifting your energy from criticism to acceptance. Like moonlight reflecting on a still lake, this practice aligns your inner light with the universe's infinite abundance, transforming your outer world to match. The mirror of life will reflect back this new vibration, revealing a reality as radiant as the soul you choose to see. Chapter 7. Light Beyond Fear. In a thriving market town, a merchant named Stanley awoke each morning with a heavy dread that gripped his chest. His shop, though prosperous, felt like a fragile vessel, poised to shatter. Convinced disaster lurked around every corner, his fear cast long shadows across his days, dimming even his brightest successes. One evening, as he counted his earnings with trembling hands, an old sage appeared at his door. Observing Stanley's anxious movements, the sage spoke softly. "What you resist persists. Your fear is but a shadow, cast by your resistance to life's flow." The words stirred something deep within Stanley, revealing a timeless truth. Fear is not an enemy, but a teacher pointing toward the path of growth. In a distant village, Ida, a widow who inherited a failing business, faced similar fears. Paralyzed by the thought of failure, she hesitated to act, her days clouded by doubt. Yet she discovered that courage in thought precedes courage in action. Each morning she began declaring, "I choose faith over fear." Within weeks, her small shop began to prosper. She expanded her inventory, hired helpers, and watched her business flourish beyond expectation. Her transformation came not from banishing fear, but from walking alongside it, refusing to let it dictate her choices. The universe responds most powerfully to this state of faithful allowing, where fear becomes a compass, guiding you toward expansion. Neuroscience affirms this wisdom. Fear activates the amygdala, priming us for growth when met with understanding rather than resistance. When we embrace fear as a signal, it loses its grip, much like a shadow dissolves in light. Spiritual traditions, from the Bhagavad Gita's call to act without attachment to outcome, to Celtic tales of heroes facing trials with trust, echo this truth. Fear, when met with acceptance, becomes a stepping stone rather than a wall. Socially, we see this in leaders who transform challenges into opportunities by embracing uncertainty, their courage inspiring others to follow. Philosophically, fear is a veil between the self and the infinite, as Søren Kierkegaard suggested in his reflections on anxiety as a path to self-discovery. Stanley's shift began when he stopped fighting his dread and instead greeted it as a messenger. He started each day affirming, "I walk with light," and his shop became a beacon of warmth, drawing customers effortlessly. Ida's faith reshaped her reality, proving that fear loses power when you cease resisting its presence. Like a star shining brightest in the darkest night, your light grows when you embrace fear as part of your journey. To anchor this truth, practice this sacred ritual. When fear arises, find a quiet space and close your eyes. Envision your fear as a dark cloud surrounding you. Now imagine a golden light emanating from your heart, gradually dissolving the cloud. As the darkness transforms, whisper softly, "I walk with light alone." Feel this light expand, filling your being with warmth. This practice, passed down through generations, reminds you that fear is merely a shadow, and you carry within you the radiance to dispel it. Like a lighthouse guiding ships through stormy seas, your inner light transforms fear into a path toward your highest potential. Chapter 8. The Garden Within. In a remote mountain village, Clara lived each day overwhelmed by a tempest of scattered thoughts and unsettled emotions. Her home, once a sanctuary, felt like a storm of chaos, her sleepless nights filled with yearning for peace. One morning, an old sage appeared at her door, his presence as steady as the ancient pines. "Your inner world is a garden," he said softly. "Each thought you plant takes root. Each emotion you feed helps it grow." The words unveiled a truth Clara had forgotten. She was the master gardener of her mind, and the chaos she felt stemmed from neglecting this sacred role. In a bustling factory, Gilbert, a supervisor, faced similar turmoil. Workplace tension mirrored his inner discord, his days marked by friction and frustration. Rather than battling external chaos, he began tending his inner garden each morning. Before entering the factory, he planted seeds of harmony, watering them with genuine appreciation for his colleagues. Within weeks, the atmosphere shifted, operations smoothed, interactions warmed, and solutions emerged naturally. Gilbert had not altered his circumstances. He had cultivated his inner world, and the outer world bloomed in response. The universe operates through perfect order, nurturing whatever you plant in the fertile soil of consciousness. This principle is echoed in psychology, where emotional regulation shapes our reality. Studies show that positive emotions broaden thought patterns, fostering creativity and connection, while negative ones narrow focus, perpetuating discord. In Buddhist teachings, the mind is likened to a garden where mindfulness cultivates peace. Indigenous cultures from the Navajo to the Maori honor thoughts as seeds that shape the world, a wisdom mirrored in modern cognitive science. Socially, we see this in communities that thrive through shared positivity, their collective harmony yielding abundance where discord once reigned. Clara began her transformation by pausing each morning to envision her inner garden, planting seeds of joy and watering them with gratitude. The turbulence in her life softened her home, once again, a haven of peace. Gilbert's inner shift rippled outward, proving that your emotions water the seeds of your thoughts, determining what flourishes. Joy nurtures abundance while fear withers even the strongest plantings. Your mind is not a passive field, but a sacred plot entrusted to your care. Will you scatter seeds of worry sprouting thorny problems, or plant joy, peace, and abundance to harvest their fruits? To embody this wisdom practice, this ancient ritual, each morning find a quiet moment and close your eyes. Envision your inner garden, vibrant and alive. Plant 3 distinct seeds of joy, perhaps a peaceful relationship, abundant wealth, or radiant health. Water each with the pure emotion of gratitude, feeling their roots take hold. See them grow, knowing the universe must mirror what you cultivate within. Like a gardener tending a cherished plot, this practice aligns your consciousness with harmony, transforming your inner world into a blossoming sanctuary that reflects in every facet of your life. Chapter 9. The Golden Key. In the heart of a bustling marketplace, Eugene stood before countless locked doors, each marked with his deepest desires: prosperity, connection, purpose. He carried a heavy ring of keys, hard work, cleverness, connections, yet none would turn in their locks. Night after night, he returned home empty-handed, wondering why destiny seemed sealed against him. One dawn, an ancient locksmith with sparkling eyes approached and whispered, "The master key you seek is gratitude." This key, forged not of metal, but of authentic appreciation, opens every portal. The universe responds not to demands, but to the magnetic force of thankfulness offered before evidence appears. In a distant town, Dorothy faced profound lack, her cupboards bare, and her spirit weary. Yet she began each morning thanking the universe for abundance, already given, blessing her empty wallet as if it brimmed with prosperity. Within days, unexpected blessings emerged: a forgotten debt repaid a client, doubling their order, a relative sharing surplus. Dorothy had not forced change. She had turned the key of gratitude, and the doors of prosperity swung wide. This principle operates with mathematical precision. What you appreciate appreciates. Gratitude sends ripples through the fabric of creation, attracting more reasons to be thankful. Science affirms this truth. Psychological studies show gratitude enhances dopamine release, aligning the brain with positive outcomes and increasing openness to opportunity. In spiritual traditions, from Christian hymns of thanksgiving to Hindu rituals of offering gratitude, is revered as a sacred act that aligns the soul with divine flow. Socially, we see this in communities where generosity fosters abundance. Think of cooperative economies or philanthropists whose giving multiplies their influence. Philosophically, gratitude echoes Plato's idea of aligning with the eternal good, a state that draws goodness into form. Eugene began to practice gratitude, thanking the universe for opportunities yet unseen. Customers flocked to his stall, partnerships formed, and his dreams unlocked with ease. Dorothy's story mirrors this, showing that gratitude is not mere sentiment, but a universal law. It creates a vacuum that the universe rushes to fill like water, seeking its level. The key lies in offering thanks before the door opens, signaling readiness to receive. Your appreciation given in faith becomes the golden thread weaving your desires into reality. To embody this wisdom, embrace this ancient practice. As each day dawns, stand in quiet solitude and speak aloud your gratitude for 3 unmanifested dreams as if they already exist. Feel the depth of appreciation for robust health, harmonious relationships, or abundant prosperity, knowing they journey toward you. Let your heart overflow until you sense destiny's lock clicking open, like a river finding its course. This practice channels abundance through your thankfulness, transforming your life into a tapestry of blessings woven by the golden key of gratitude. Chapter 10. The horizon expands. In a humble village cradled by ancient hills, Alfred carved wooden figures, his hands tracing the same designs his father and grandfather had crafted before him. Though skilled, his spirit felt confined, as if the walls of tradition hemmed in his dreams. Each morning he gazed at the distant mountains, sensing a calling beyond his inherited craft, yet believing himself bound by its limits. One day, a wandering artisan passed through carrying sculptures that seemed to capture light itself, their forms dancing with possibilities Alfred had never imagined. "How did you create such wonders?" Alfred asked. "I didn't learn," the artisan replied. "I simply stopped believing in limitations. The wood shows me what it wishes to become." This truth lies at the heart of creation. Your beliefs draw the line between possible and impossible. The universe responds not to your wishes, but to your deepest convictions. When you declare something beyond reach, you command reality to place it there. When you expand your vision, the world stretches to meet it. In a neighboring town, Bertie dreamed of opening a small flower shop. She planned cautiously, tethered to what seemed realistic. But one morning, arranging wildflowers in her garden, she dared to imagine grander possibilities, a sanctuary of beauty arrangements gracing celebrations, citywide her passion, inspiring others. As her vision expanded, the universe orchestrated alignments. A retiring florist offered a prime location. A wedding planner discovered her unique style, and soon her work adorned grand hotels, touching lives she never dreamed of reaching. Science supports this principle. Neuroplasticity shows the brain adapts to new beliefs, expanding capacity for creativity and opportunity when we challenge limiting assumptions. Philosophically, this echoes the Buddhist concept of beginner's mind, where openness unveils infinite potential, a wisdom mirrored in indigenous stories of vision, quests that transcend perceived boundaries. Socially, we see this in visionaries, entrepreneurs like Elon Musk, or artists like Frida Kahlo, who dared to envision beyond convention, their expanded horizons reshaping reality. Alfred began to carve with freedom, letting the wood guide his hands. His creations, once rigid, now pulsed with life, drawing admiration from afar. Birdie's success grew not from harder work, but from daring to dream larger. Your circumstances are not walls, but windows. Change the window, and you change the view. Remove it entirely, and the whole world opens before you. Like a seed containing a mighty tree, your vision holds limitless potential, waiting for your belief to set it free. To embody this truth practice, this ancient ritual, settle into stillness and envision your most treasured dream. Now let it expand until it triples in magnitude. If you imagine touching 10 lives, see yourself touching 30. If you picture abundance at one level, multiply it threefold. Let your spirit soar past reasonable expectations, like an eagle gliding beyond the horizon. Repeat this weekly, watching your capacity to dream grow alongside your capacity to receive. This practice, like sunlight coaxing a seedling skyward, aligns you with the universe's infinite possibilities, expanding your reality as far as your vision dares to reach. Chapter 11. The Gentle Current. In a bustling marketplace, Agnes clutched her timepiece, measuring each moment against her meticulously crafted plans. From sunrise to sunset, she orchestrated her life like a conductor, demanding perfect tempo from an orchestra. Each delay tightened her spirit. Every setback felt like failure. Her relentless need to control time's flow left her exhausted, yet success remained elusive. The universe, moving with a wisdom beyond mortal grasp, operates on its own divine schedule. When you force its hand, you create resistance that blocks the natural flow of abundance. Like a river meeting a dam, insistence on control stirs turbulence in your path. In a distant city, Jasper, a merchant, faced similar struggles. His business ventures felt like battles against time, each deal requiring force, each opportunity demanding aggressive pursuit. Exhausted, he paused one quiet evening, and in that stillness, a truth emerged. Success flows freely when you cease controlling its arrival. Jasper began allowing space between his actions, pausing to breathe and trust. Rather than chasing opportunities, he cultivated readiness to receive them. Soon, connections that once eluded him appeared naturally, deals unfolded with ease, and prosperity grew, not from increased effort, but from decreased resistance. This wisdom is echoed in science and culture. Psychological research on mindfulness shows that surrendering control reduces stress and enhances decision-making, allowing intuitive solutions to surface. In Taoist philosophy, the principle of Wu Wei teaches effortless action, aligning with life's rhythm to achieve harmony. Indigenous cultures, from Aboriginal Dreamtime narratives to Celtic lore, celebrate surrender as a path to divine timing. Socially, we see this in leaders who thrive by adapting to change. Think of businesses that pivot during crises, their flexibility unlocking new streams of abundance. Agnes learned to loosen her grip, focusing on present actions rather than rigid timelines. Opportunities emerged as if summoned her days, softening into flow. Jasper's trust transformed his business, proving that your relationship with time reveals your trust in the universe's plan. When you squeeze moments too tightly, you strangle possibility. When you release control, miracles find space to blossom. Your dreams are seeds already planted, requiring not force, but faith, not anxiety, but allowance. To embody this truth practice, this ancient ritual, thrice daily at sunrise, midday, and as evening draws near, find a quiet moment. Breathe deeply and speak with gentle conviction. I trust life's gentle current. Let each repetition soften your grip, like a river smoothing stones over time. Feel the universe's rhythm, guiding your path, as a leaf glides effortlessly on water's surface. This practice, passed down through ages, aligns you with divine timing, transforming effort into grace and allowing the gentle current of creation to carry you toward your destiny. Chapter 12. Beyond the Noise. In the ceaseless motion of a vibrant city, Edith scattered her energy like seeds caught in a restless wind. Messages, meetings, and endless streams of information fragmented her focus, blurring her days into a haze of distraction. Though her intentions were pure, her dreams remained distant stars, too faint to guide her through the fog of constant activity. The universe speaks in whispers, not shouts, its guidance arriving in the sanctuary of stillness. When your mind churns with countless thoughts, you drown out the subtle directions that would lead you true. Like a lake disturbed by endless ripples, a restless mind cannot reflect the light of divine wisdom. In a neighboring town, Roscoe's life overflowed with opportunity, yet lacked fulfillment. Each day brought new ventures, connections, and possibilities, but success eluded him. He began each morning in silence, discovering a compass within that pointed true. In these quiet moments, he distinguished essential actions from mere motion. His decisions, born from clarity rather than urgency, led to authentic success. Opportunities he once chased began appearing, naturally drawn to his centered energy. The universe responds not to constant action, but to the clarity that emerges from contemplation, where your vibration aligns with your deepest desires. Science affirms this truth. Mindfulness studies show that stillness enhances focus and emotional clarity, quieting the brain's default mode network to reveal intuitive insights. In Zen Buddhism, stillness is the gateway to Satori's sudden enlightenment, a principle echoed in Sufi practices of silent meditation. Socially, we see this in innovators who pause to reflect. Think of scientists like Einstein, whose breakthroughs came in quiet moments, or communities that thrive by prioritizing meaningful action over chaos. Philosophically, this aligns with Heidegger's concept of being overdoing where presence unveils truth. Edith began to carve out moments of silence, letting distractions drift away like clouds. Her dreams, once faint, grew vivid, guiding her steps with precision. Roscoe's stillness transformed his life's trajectory, proving that true progress flows from clarity, not activity. When you step back from the world's noise, you allow your inner wisdom to surface, distinguishing movement from progress. Like tuning a radio to clear static silence, amplifies your connection to the infinite intelligence that guides all life. To embody this wisdom practice, this ancient ritual, set aside 5 sacred minutes each day for pure silence. Find a space free from interruption and let all thoughts, worries, and plans float away, like leaves on a gentle stream. Allow your mind to become a still pond, perfectly reflecting the light of divine guidance. Feel the peace that emerges like moonlight settling on calm waters. This practice, passed down through generations of wisdom seekers, opens the channel through which the universe speaks most clearly, aligning your heart with the quiet truth that leads you home. Chapter 13. The compass points true. In the vibrant chaos of a bustling marketplace, a young merchant named Oscar wandered with a heavy heart, his stall overflowing with exotic wares, yet his spirit lost in a maze of competing voices. Every trader offered conflicting advice. Buy this, sell that, move here, trade there, clouding his mind until indecision became his constant companion. One day, seeking refuge, he climbed the quiet hills above the city. In the gentle silence, a soft voice emerged from within, whispering of a small village to the east. Though it defied logic, His soul resonated with this subtle knowing. Following this delicate thread, Oscar traveled to the village where he found people eager for his unique goods. His business flourished not through strategy, but through heeding his inner compass. In a distant town, Nettie, a schoolteacher, felt trapped in her routine. Each morning, her heart whispered of sharing wisdom through writing, yet her mind dismissed these promptings as impractical. One day, she began noting these nudges in a journal, acting on small inspirations, writing for 10 minutes, sharing a single story. Within a year, her words reached thousands, touching lives her logical mind could never have planned. The universe communicates through feelings, a quiet yes expanding your heart, a subtle no contracting it. Your soul's compass, a divine GPS, transcends logic, aligning you with your highest path when you trust its subtle guidance. Neuroscience reveals that intuition arises from the gut-brain axis, where the vagus nerve processes subtle cues beyond conscious reasoning. In cultural traditions, from the Aboriginal concept of Didiri, deep listening to the Oracle of Delphi's inner knowing, intuition is revered as a sacred guide. Socially, we see this in innovators who follow hunches. Think of artists like Georgia O'Keeffe, whose desert visions birthed iconic works, or entrepreneurs trusting gut instincts to pivot successfully. Philosophically, this aligns with Jung's concept of the collective unconscious, a reservoir of wisdom guiding us when we listen. Oscar's prosperity and Nettie's fulfillment came from honoring these whispers, proving that life flows with grace when you heed your inner voice. Your intuition knows your destiny, requiring no external validation, only your willingness to listen. Like a star guiding sailors through the night, this inner compass points true even when the path seems unclear. When you honor these subtle nudges, synchronicities multiply and doors open unexpectedly, as if the universe itself conspires to light your way. To embody this truth, practice this ancient ritual. Each day, find a moment of stillness and ask what feels aligned. Wait in peaceful receptivity for the first gentle inspiration, an image, a feeling, a whisper. Act upon it without hesitation, trusting it connects you to the infinite intelligence orchestrating the cosmos. Like a river, finding its course through stone, this practice aligns you with your soul's quiet guidance, leading you effortlessly toward your highest destiny. Your compass never fails. It asks only that you listen and follow. Chapter 14. Storm into Calm. In a windswept valley town, Florence, a merchant's daughter, stood watch as dark clouds gathered over her father's fields. Each year, she dreaded the storm season, seeing only destruction in the tempests that bent the wheat stalks and rattled the village. Her anxiety swelled with every thunderclap, each gust a threat to her fragile hopes. One morning after a particularly fierce storm, she walked the fields expecting devastation. Instead, she found something remarkable, where lightning had struck minerals from deep within the earth, enriched the soil. Winds had carried seeds from distant meadows, strengthening crops with new life. Rain had cleared old debris, carving channels to nourish the land. Within every storm, Florence realized, lay hidden blessings. In a coastal city, Warren, a craftsman, faced a storm of his own when a tempest destroyed his workshop. Rather than cursing his fate, he chose to trust that this upheaval served a purpose. As he cleared the debris, he discovered the old structure's foundation had been weakening. The storm had prevented a worse collapse. With insurance funds, he built a larger, stronger workshop, expanding his business in ways the old building could never have supported. The universe operates through cycles of renewal, using apparent disorder to create higher order. What seems like destruction often clears the path, for something greater. Science supports this wisdom. Ecological studies show that disturbances like storms catalyze growth, enriching ecosystems with new resources. Psychologically embracing challenges builds resilience, reframing adversity as opportunity. In cultural narratives, from Norse myths of chaos birthing creation to African tales of storms heralding renewal, challenges are seen as divine instruments. Socially, we observe this in communities that rebuild stronger after crises, their resilience forging new possibilities. Philosophically, this echoes Heraclitus's view that change is the essence of life, each storm, a sculptor shaping a grander design. Florence began to see storms as allies, asking, "What space is being cleared?" Her trust transformed fear into curiosity, revealing opportunities in upheaval. Warren's rebuilt workshop became a testament to life's hidden gifts, proving that challenges are not random, but precise tools of transformation. Like a forest regenerating after a fire, your life renews through disruption, each storm clearing the way for growth. Your task is not to judge turbulence as misfortune, but to trust its purpose, knowing the universe rearranges your path for your highest good. To embody this truth, practice this ancient ritual. In moments of stress, pause and affirm with quiet certainty, "This storm clears my path." Feel these words resonate in your body, anchoring you in the knowing that turbulence serves your growth. Like a tree bending in the wind, yet standing taller after this practice, roots you in trust. Let it guide you when change feels fierce, transforming storms into calm and revealing the blessings woven into life's wildest moments. Chapter 15. The Echo of Love. In a village steeped in ancient rhythms, Myrtle wove tapestries of exquisite beauty, yet her heart remained a hollow echo of loneliness. Night after night she gazed into the village well, her reflection rippling with the question of why love eluded her. The universe, ever faithful, speaks through what we emanate, not merely what we desire. When you yearn for love while harboring self-doubt, you build a barrier that keeps affection at bay. One morning, as sunlight danced through her window, Myrtle noticed how her threads caught the light-weaving patterns of unexpected grace. In that moment, she glimpsed her own inner beauty and began speaking gentle words to her heart, treating herself with the tenderness she had sought from others. In a distant village, Leonard, a sculptor, shaped stone into forms of remarkable grace while judging his own spirit harshly. For years, his self-criticism dimmed his light, his relationships strained by the walls he built within. Learning to cherish himself, he listened to his inner wisdom, honored his needs, and spoke with compassion. As his heart softened, his connections deepened, drawing love as naturally as a flame draws moths. The law of attraction responds not to your wishes, but to your deepest beliefs about your worth. When you believe you are unworthy, the universe mirrors this conviction. When you fill yourself with self-appreciation, you become a vessel for profound connection. Psychology confirms this self-esteem shapes relational outcomes, with self-love fostering healthier bonds. In spiritual traditions, from Sufi poetry, celebrating the divine within, to Buddhist teachings on meta-loving kindness, self-love is the foundation of all connection. Socially, we see this in individuals whose warmth attracts others, their self-acceptance, a beacon of belonging. Philosophically, this aligns with existentialist views that authentic selfhood creates meaningful relationships. Myrtle's transformation began with small acts adorning her hair, with flowers resting when weary, celebrating her own creations. Neighbors sought her company, drawn by her radiant warmth. Leonard's shift invited harmony, proving that love flows in proportion to how much you allow yourself to receive. Your relationship with yourself sets the stage for all other connections. like a garden that flourishes only in nourishing soil. The universe waits to shower you with affection, but first, you must open your heart to yourself. Like water, taking the shape of its container, love molds to the space you create within. When you believe in your worth, you activate a magnetic force that draws connection effortlessly. Myrtle and Leonard's stories are mirrors, reflecting your own capacity to cultivate love from within, transforming isolation into belonging. To embody this truth, practice this timeless ritual. Each night as stars emerge, pause and speak with conviction. I am worthy of great love. Breathe into this truth, letting it sink into your being, watering the seeds of self-love. Feel it blossom like a rose, unfolding under dawn's light, inviting profound connection. This practice, passed down through ages, aligns you with the universe's infinite love, echoing your inner worth into every corner of your life. Chapter 16. The Bridge of Belief. In a quiet village nestled among ancient hills, Beatrice gazed at her weathered hands, rough from years of washing linens for the wealthy. Each morning she watched the sun rise over the grand manor, where she worked its golden light, seeming to mock her modest dream of opening a shop in the village square. Such things are not meant for someone like me, she whispered, her doubts weaving a familiar shroud around her heart. One dawn, as she carried her basket of linens, a wandering sage sat beneath an old oak tree. Noticing her downcast eyes, he called out, "What separates the acorn from the oak is not time, but trust in its own becoming." His words unveiled a truth. Thought becomes form through the bridge of belief. In a distant city, Virgil held an unwavering vision of creating a healing garden where people could find peace. With only a small plot and few resources, he faced skepticism, yet he tended his vision as carefully as his first seeds. Each day he walked his modest garden, seeing through the eyes of belief the lush sanctuary it would become. As seasons passed, his faith drew forth what was needed. Benefactors offered resources, skilled gardeners shared wisdom, and the barren plot blossomed into the haven he envisioned. The universe responds not to the volume of your wishes, but to the depth of your conviction, for belief is the crossing point between the unseen and the seen. Science supports this principle. Psychological studies on self-efficacy show that unwavering belief shapes outcomes, rewiring the brain to recognize opportunities. In spiritual traditions from Christian faith, moving mountains to Vedic sankalpa, transforming intention into reality belief, is the alchemical bridge. Socially, we see this in visionaries like architects who build from imagination, their conviction shaping skylines. Philosophically, this echoes Plato's theory of forms, where inner conviction molds outer reality. Beatrice began to trust her dream, taking small steps toward her shop, saving coins, sketching plans. Doors opened, a vacant stall became available. Customers sought her out. Virgil's garden grew through faith, proving that belief is the path dreams walk to reach you. Your thoughts are already real, awaiting only your faith to manifest. Like water vapor condensing into drops, your dreams require trust to transform from ethereal to tangible. When you stand firmly in belief, you become the bridge through which desires travel into form. Doubt builds barriers. Faith builds bridges. Beatrice and Virgil's stories are mirrors, reflecting your power to cross from vision to reality through unwavering conviction. To embody this wisdom, practice this ancient ritual. As the sun rises, find a quiet moment and close your eyes. Envision a magnificent golden bridge stretching before you, pulsing with divine energy. See your desired reality waiting on the other side, vivid with detail. Take 7 steady steps across this bridge, each strengthening your belief. With every breath, feel the solid truth beneath your feet, knowing you are already crossing into manifestation. Like a river flowing to the sea, this practice anchors your faith, guiding your dreams home across the bridge of belief. Chapter 17. Songs of the Heart. In a small apartment above a bustling marketplace, Sylvia stared at walls that seemed to close in around her each day. Her life felt like a cage of circumstances, bills, mounting opportunities, dwindling dreams, gathering dust in her mind's corners. Each morning she woke to the weight of limitation, her thoughts echoing, "This is all there is." Her words, heavy with resignation, summoned a reality that matched their tone. Yet ancient wisdom teaches that spoken words are seeds scattered in the fertile field of creation, each syllable a frequency rippling through existence, drawing experiences that align with your sonic signature. In the city's merchant district, Archibald, a bookseller, discovered this truth. Each morning before opening his small shop, he stood in his garden and sang affirmations into the dawn. "I am blessed beyond measure. Abundance flows to me freely. Joy surrounds me like sunshine." What began as a practice became a pleasure, his voice ringing with conviction. Neighbors might have thought him eccentric, but within months his bookshop flourished. New opportunities appeared, as if summoned by his songs. Customers lingered, partnerships formed. Prosperity grew. His voiced gratitude had called forth a new reality. Science affirms this principle. Vocalization amplifies intention, with sound waves influencing cellular vibration and emotional states. Studies show that speaking affirmations aloud enhances neural pathways for positivity, aligning the body with abundance. In cultural traditions, from Vedic mantras to gospel hymns, voiced praise is a sacred act, tuning the spirit to divine frequencies. Socially, we see this in leaders whose passionate words inspire movements, their voices resonating with conviction that draws others near. Philosophically, this echoes the logos of ancient Greece, where the spoken word shapes reality, a truth mirrored in Sylvia's transformation. Sylvia began speaking gratitude aloud each morning. "I am thankful for this breath, this moment, this new day." The act dissolved the walls of her perceived prison, her energy shifting as her words grew genuine. Opportunities emerged, a new job, a supportive friend drawn by her raised vibration. Your voice is not merely for communication, but an instrument of manifestation. When you speak gratitude, you adjust your cellular frequency, creating a magnetic field that attracts more reasons for thankfulness. Like a tuning fork, your words align you with abundance's rhythm. To embody this truth, practice this sacred ritual. Find a quiet space where your voice can flow freely. Take 3 deep breaths to center yourself, then speak aloud with clear intention. "Life delights in giving me joy." Let the phrase become a gentle song in your spirit, repeating until its truth resonates in your bones. Feel your voice carry certainty, like a melody rising to the heavens. This is not mere repetition, but attunement to abundance's frequency. Like a river singing as it flows, this practice channels joy into your experience, transforming your reality through the songs of your heart. Chapter 18. The Lantern of Clarity. In a village cradled by ancient hills, Horace wandered each morning in different directions, seeking purpose, but finding only confusion. His steps meandered aimlessly, mirroring thoughts scattered like leaves in an autumn wind. Villagers offered work in fields or shops, yet nothing called to his spirit. One evening, as darkness fell, Horace noticed an old lantern maker crafting his wares with meticulous care, each beam of light cutting through shadow with precision. "Why do you craft with such exactness?" Horus asked. When light scatters, it creates shadows, the lantern maker replied. But when focused, it reveals the path ahead. This truth illuminated Horus's heart. The universe responds not to scattered wishes, but to focused intention. In a distant city's marketplace, Ethel yearned for meaningful work, drifting between trades without commitment. One morning, she sat quietly and turned her mind's light toward what truly called her the healing arts. With this clarity, an inner illumination guided her steps. Within days, an herbalist sought an apprentice. Within weeks, she learned ancient healing ways. Within months, she established her own practice. Her clarity cut through confusion like a lantern's beam through darkness. When you scatter energy across too many possibilities, you dim your power to attract. When you focus intention like a well-crafted lantern, the universe lights your way. Science affirms this. Psychological studies on goal setting show that specific intentions enhance focus and motivation, activating the brain's reticular activating system to spot relevant opportunities. In spiritual traditions, from Zen's single-pointed meditation to the Sufi practice of Tawajjuh, focused attention clarity is the key to divine alignment. Socially, we see this in innovators like scientists or artists who channel their vision into breakthroughs, their focus a beacon for success. Philosophically, this echoes Aristotle's concept of telos, where a clear purpose shapes outcomes. Horus and Ethel's stories reflect your power to direct your inner light, transforming uncertainty into a clear path forward. Your thoughts, when dispersed like morning mist, create a reality equally undefined. But when concentrated, they burn through doubt, revealing your destiny with precision. Like a lighthouse guiding ships through fog, clarity aligns your desires with the universe's infinite possibilities. Horus began focusing on a single purpose, crafting lanterns of his own, and found his calling. Ethel's dedication to healing drew opportunities as if by design. Your desires, when specific, become a signal. The universe answers with corresponding opportunities. To embody this wisdom practice, this ancient ritual, take a clean sheet of paper and write one clear vision, not a list of wants, but a single powerful intention. Place it where you'll see it each morning and evening, reading it aloud to let its truth illuminate your path. Feel it burn away uncertainty like a lantern's beam, piercing the night. This practice, passed down through ages, focuses your energy like a well-crafted light, guiding you toward your destiny with unwavering clarity. Chapter 19. Destiny's Dance. In the serene mountains of a distant land, Gertrude, a skilled craftswoman, devoted herself to carving intricate wooden sculptures. Each morning she planned every cut and curve with rigid determination, forcing her vision upon the wood. Yet despite her skill, her creations lacked the spark of life she yearned to capture. One dawn, an old woodcarver passed by her workshop and observed her tense grip on her tools. "The wood already knows what it wishes to become," he said softly. "Your task is not to command, but to listen and move with its natural grain." This truth resonated deeply. Life is not a fortress to conquer, but a partner in an eternal dance. In a bustling city, Silas, a merchant, believed success required rigid control. His business struggled until he learned to flow with market cycles rather than fight them. Sensing opportunities in changing conditions, he released his need to dictate outcomes. Within months, his business flourished. Partnerships formed. Through synchronicity, prosperity flowed with ease. His willingness to dance with circumstances opened channels of abundance he hadn't imagined. The universe operates in patterns of expansion and contraction, like the breath of a great being. When you resist these cosmic tides, you create friction. When you align with their rhythm, your steps become effortless. Science supports this wisdom flow. State research shows that adaptability enhances performance, reducing stress, and unlocking creativity. In cultural traditions, from the fluid movements of Tai Chi to African dance rituals honoring life's rhythms, alignment with natural flow is celebrated. Socially, we see this in entrepreneurs who pivot with market shifts, or communities that thrive by embracing change, their flexibility, a conduit for growth. Philosophically, this echoes Heraclitus's maxim that change is the only constant, urging us to move with life's currents rather than against them. Gertrude began to carve with fluidity, letting the wood guide her hands. Her sculptures came alive, radiating a vitality that drew admiration. Silas's success proved that prosperity has its own rhythm, revealed when you release control. Your role is to hold your vision with faith, but let go of how it must manifest. Trusting each unexpected shift serves the choreography of your destiny. Like a dancer balancing firmness and flexibility, you align intention with adaptability, moving in harmony with the universe's pulse. To embody this truth, practice this ancient ritual. Each morning, sway gently in silence, whispering, "I dance with destiny." Feel your body soften, as if moving with an unseen partner. Let each sway release your need to control, aligning you with life's natural rhythm. Like a river carving its path through stone, this practice attunes you to the cosmic dance, where every step, pause, and turn leads you closer to your desires. Trust the music of your dreams and let the universe guide your steps in this eternal dance of creation. Chapter 20. The sky widens. In the heart of a bustling city, Ellsworth tended a modest bookshop, content with its quiet success. Each day he carefully managed his inventory, never ordering more books than his small shelves could hold. His dreams, confined by the walls around him, seemed sufficient until a child wandered into his shop, her eyes wide with wonder. "Where are all the other books?" she asked. "The ones about stars and planets and everything beyond." Her question pierced his self-imposed limits, like a ray of sunlight through clouds, awakening a truth: your potential, like the vast sky, knows no bounds. In a nearby town, Wilfred ran a small catering service, believing success meant booking local events. One day, watching birds soar overhead, she realized her vision had been earthbound. She began to dream grander, hosting immersive cultural events, teaching international cooking workshops, creating a podcast about global food traditions. As her perspective shifted skyward, opportunities aligned. A retiring caterer offered equipment, a festival invited her unique offerings, and her work reached audiences far beyond her town. Her success grew not from harder work, but from daring to envision beyond her immediate horizon. Science affirms this principle. Neuroplasticity shows the brain adapts to expansive thinking, rewiring to embrace larger possibilities. In spiritual traditions, from Vedic teachings of infinite consciousness to Native American visions of the boundless spirit, the mind's limits are seen as illusions. Socially, we see this in visionaries. Think of innovators like Steve Jobs, whose expansive dreams reshaped technology, or activists whose bold visions transformed societies. Philosophically, this echoes Kant's idea that imagination shapes reality, urging us to see beyond the immediate to the infinite. Ellsworth began ordering books on astronomy, philosophy, and distant cultures, his shop becoming a beacon for curious minds. Wilfred's expanded vision turned her catering into a cultural movement, proving that the size of your dream matters less than your willingness to let it grow. Your circumstances are not ceilings, but platforms for greater heights. Like a seed containing a mighty tree, your vision holds infinite potential, When you release the boundaries of reasonable expectations, to embody this truth, practice this ancient ritual. At twilight, gaze at the sky and affirm, "My life is as limitless as this sky." Feel the vastness above, mirror the potential within you, like stars reflecting on a still lake. Let this affirmation expand your vision, as if the horizon itself stretches to meet your dreams. This practice, passed down through ages, aligns you with the universe's boundless possibilities, reminding you that every step forward widens the sky, revealing a world as vast as your courage to dream. Chapter 21. The Crystal Path. In a village steeped in ancient rhythms, Meline, a weaver, yearned to create tapestries of unmatched beauty. Each morning she sat at her loom, paralyzed by the infinite choices of colors and patterns before her. Days passed as she waited for absolute certainty, her loom remaining empty. One evening, as shadows stretched across her workshop, an old mystic appeared at her door. "The path reveals itself to those who move," she said, reaching for a single golden thread. "Begin with what shimmers in your heart this moment." This truth pierced Meline's hesitation. The universe does not demand you see the entire staircase before taking the first step. In a distant town, Amos, a humble merchant, embodied this wisdom. Starting with one small shop, he focused on serving each customer who entered his door, pouring his energy into the present moment, rather than plotting grand expansions. As he mastered each small step, opportunities emerged. A neighboring shop became available, then a warehouse, then distribution routes he hadn't foreseen. His empire grew not through elaborate schemes, but through faithful attention to each moment as it appeared. The law of attraction responds not to perfect planning, but to faithful movement, each step magnetizing the next opportunity. Science supports this principle. Psychological studies on incremental progress show that small, consistent actions build momentum, activating the brain's reward system to fuel further steps. In spiritual traditions, from Zen's focus on the present to Christian teachings of walking by faith movement without full clarity, is revered. Socially, we see this in entrepreneurs who start small. Think of a local cafe growing into a chain through steady effort, or communities rebuilding step by step after hardship. Philosophically, this echoes Lao Tzu's journey of 1,000 miles, beginning with a single step, urging trust in the unfolding path. Meline began weaving with the golden thread, trusting its shimmer to guide her. Her tapestries, once mere dreams, took form, with each stitch drawing admiration from afar. Amos's empire flourished through his focus on the now, proving that destiny unfolds not in sudden revelation, but in gentle steps. Your path is like a crystal refracting light, with each facet revealed by movement. Release the need to know everything. Trust the step before you, and the universe will illuminate the next. To embody this truth, practice this ancient ritual. Each evening before sleep, plant these words in your consciousness. Each step leads me higher. Let this affirmation settle into your being like a seed in fertile soil, reminding you that movement, not certainty, opens the way. Feel the crystal path beneath your feet, each step sparkling with divine timing. This practice, passed down through ages, aligns you with the universe's gentle unfoldment, guiding you toward your destiny, one faithful step at a time. Chapter 22. The Hidden Treasure. In a modest village nestled among gentle hills, Sylvester spent his days counting what he lacked. His home felt too small, his clothes too plain, his meals too simple. Each morning he gazed at his meager belongings, the weight of scarcity pressing upon his spirit like a heavy fog. One day, while drawing water from the village well, he met an aged woman whose eyes sparkled with joy, despite her simple attire. "What makes you shine so bright?" he asked. "I discovered the ancient secret," she replied. "Everything I touch is gold when seen through eyes of appreciation." Her words unveiled a truth: abundance begins not with acquisition, but with recognition. In a nearby town, Goldie, a seamstress, transformed her life through this same understanding. Each morning she touched her sewing needles with reverence, blessing their ability to create. She ran her fingers across fabric with thanksgiving, honoring its potential, and blessed her simple chair for supporting her work, her windows for their light. Within months, her small sewing room brimmed with abundance. Clients, multiplied opportunities, expanded resources appeared as if by magic. The true miracle was not in what she received, but in her awakened ability to see the wealth already present. The universe's first language is gratitude, and when you speak it, you activate the law of multiplication. Science affirms this principle. Gratitude rewires neural pathways, increasing serotonin and fostering a mindset that attracts opportunity. In spiritual traditions, from Jewish blessings for daily gifts to Hindu rituals of offering thanks, gratitude aligns the soul with divine flow. Socially, we see this in communities where appreciation fosters prosperity. Think of cooperative farms thriving through shared gratitude, or philanthropists whose giving multiplies their impact. Philosophically, this echoes Spinoza's view that joy in the present amplifies existence, transforming scarcity into abundance. Sylvester began to bless his modest home, thanking it for shelter, his clothes for warmth, his food for nourishment. His spirit lightened and opportunities emerged. A neighbor offered work, a market stall opened. Goldie's reverence turned her sewing room into a hub of creation, proving that every possession holds a seed of prosperity when blessed with appreciation. Your surroundings are a treasure chest, each item a gem awaiting your recognition. The cup that holds your water, the bed that cradles your rest, all are seeds of abundance when seen through grateful eyes. To embody this truth, practice this ancient ritual. Take 3 objects within your reach today: a pen, a chair, a window, and touch each with reverence. Speak a blessing aloud. Thank you for your service to my life. Feel appreciation awaken their dormant potential, like sunlight coaxing a bud to bloom. This practice, passed down through ages, aligns your vibration with the flow of abundance, transforming your reality into a garden of hidden treasures, where what you bless multiplies and what you appreciate appreciates. Chapter 23. The Radiance Within. In a small village cradled by time, Viola spent her days lamenting her circumstances. Each morning she gazed at her worn belongings, whispering to the shadows, "If only I had more, then I could know happiness." The weight of lack pressed upon her spirit, dimming her world. One dawn, as she walked through the marketplace, counting her meager coins, an old merchant called her to his stall. His wares, simple clay pots filled with glowing stones. "These stones shine brightest in darkness," he said, pressing one into her palm without asking for payment. "The glow comes from within, just as all true treasures do." That night, in her darkened room, Viola watched the stone's gentle radiance. As she focused on its light, her room brightened, revealing the beauty in her patched quilts, the care in her mended clothes, the elegance of her simple furnishings. In a distant hamlet, Herbert, a craftsman, sang as he worked, infusing each piece with joy, despite scarce customers. While others complained of lack, his happiness embedded a special light in his creations. Word spread, and people sought his work, saying it carried a trace of radiance that brightened their homes. His success grew not from external changes, but from the light he nurtured within. The universe responds not to circumstances, but to your inner state. Joy does not arrive with possessions. It emanates from within, transforming the outer world to match its glow. Science supports this truth. Positive psychology shows that cultivating inner joy boosts serotonin, enhancing well-being and attracting opportunities. In spiritual traditions from Buddhist mindfulness to Christian teachings on inner peace, joy is a divine spark within, accessible in any moment. Socially, we see this in individuals whose warmth draws others. Think of teachers or artists whose passion inspires their radiance, a magnet for connection. Philosophically, this echoes Plato's idea that the soul's light shapes reality, a truth Viola and Herbert embodied. Viola began to nurture her inner flame, smiling at her reflection and whispering, "My light guides me." Her world transformed as she saw beauty in the ordinary. Herbert's singing turned his craft into a beacon, proving that when you guard your joy, life multiplies your gladness. Like moths to a flame, opportunities are drawn to those who glow from within. Your inner state is the lamp illuminating your path, and the universe mirrors the radiance you choose to cultivate. To embody this truth, practice this sacred ritual. Stand before your mirror each morning. Smile at yourself and whisper, "My light guides my destiny." Let this affirmation anchor the truth that your inner radiance shapes your world, like sunlight piercing a clouded sky. Feel its warmth fill you, transforming every moment into a canvas of joy. This practice, passed down through ages, aligns you with the eternal light within, drawing the universe's abundance to your glowing presence. Chapter 24. The Sacred Exchange. In a small mountain village, Bula spent her days counting what she lacked, her gaze fixed on empty shelves and worn clothing in her modest shop. Prosperity seemed to flow around her like a stream, diverted by stone. One day, a wandering monk paused at her door, and though her resources were scarce, something stirred within her to offer him her last loaf of bread. The monk smiled, broke the loaf in half, and shared it back with her. "The universe," he said, "is an eternal circle of giving and receiving. When you clutch too tightly, you block the channel through which abundance flows." His words unveiled a timeless truth. Giving is not loss, but the key that unlocks receiving. In a distant city, Ira, a merchant, discovered this principle as his business struggled. He began giving small portions of his earnings to those in need, sharing knowledge with competitors, and offering smiles to strangers without expecting return. Soon, unexpected opportunities emerged, new partnerships formed, customers multiplied, and his generosity returned, magnified. The law of circulation governs existence: money, love, joy. These energies must flow outward to return multiplied. Like breath, life requires both inflow and outflow. Holding too tightly creates tension, while releasing freely invites fresh abundance. Science affirms this. Studies on altruism show that giving triggers oxytocin release, fostering connection and attracting reciprocal generosity. In spiritual traditions from Buddhist dana, generous giving to Islamic zakat, the act of giving aligns the soul with divine flow. Socially, we see this in thriving communities, where sharing, whether resources, time, or kindness, creates abundance, like cooperative economies or grassroots movements. Philosophically, this echoes Aristotle's view of virtue as a cycle of giving and receiving, enriching both self and others. Bula began to give freely, a kind word, a small gift, a moment of her time, and her shop soon brimmed with customers drawn by her warmth. Ira's generosity transformed his business, proving that each act of giving creates a vacuum. The universe rushes to fill. Like a tree offering fruit and receiving sunlight, or the ocean giving water to the sky to receive rain, your giving opens channels for abundance. The key lies not in the size of the gift, but in the spirit of its offering, given from love, without attachment to return. To embody this truth, practice this ancient ritual. Choose one act of giving today, a small gift, a genuine compliment, or a moment of your time. Offer it freely with no expectation of return, feeling the joy of release. Like a river flowing generously to the sea, this act opens the eternal channel of circulation. This practice, passed down through ages, aligns you with the natural flow of abundance, inviting the universe to pour its blessings into the space you create through your sacred exchange. Chapter 25. The Open Gate. In the heart of an ancient city, Rosalie walked the cobblestone streets each morning, seeking opportunities that seemed forever beyond her reach. All paths are barred, she whispered, her shoulders heavy with resignation. One windswept afternoon, she encountered an old woman tending roses in a hidden garden, its weathered gate standing invitingly open. "Why do you leave your gate unlatched?" Rosalie asked. The woman's eyes sparkled as she replied, "That which remains open receives. See how these roses turn their faces to welcome the sun, never questioning if light will arrive." Her words unveiled a truth. Openness summons opportunity, and the universe responds to your state of receptivity. In a distant town, Chester had faced years of romantic disappointment, his heart guarded by walls of past hurt. He shifted his perspective, choosing to see love as ever-present, rather than scarce. Instead of closing himself off, he remained open, expecting joy to find him. Within months, love entered his life in an unexpected way. A chance meeting blossomed into deep connection, proving that availability precedes arrival. The universe seeks the path of least resistance, flowing effortlessly toward those who stand ready to receive. When you believe doors are sealed, you become a closed gate. When you maintain expectancy of good, you create an energetic opening through which abundance must flow. Science supports this principle. Psychological studies on expectancy theory show that positive anticipation shapes behavior and attracts opportunities. In spiritual traditions, from Taoist teachings of receptivity to Christian parables of open hearts, openness is a sacred state that invites divine gifts. Socially, we see this in individuals who attract success by remaining open to possibilities. Think of innovators welcoming unexpected collaborations, or communities thriving through inclusive generosity. Philosophically, this echoes Heidegger's concept of openness to being, where readiness unveils life's potential. Rosalie began to release her habit of seeing barriers, affirming that paths were opening before her. Opportunities emerged, a job offer, a new friendship, as if drawn by her newfound expectancy. Chester's open heart invited love, showing that your expectations weave the fabric of your experience. Like water finding its course, abundance flows to those who stand as open gates, trusting that the right pathways will appear. To embody this truth, practice this ancient ritual. Stand quietly with eyes closed and imagine an endless gate swinging wide open before you. Walk confidently through, feeling the certainty that all paths necessary for your highest good are already unfolding. Like roses turning toward the sun, this practice aligns you with the universe's infinite possibilities, transforming your receptivity into an invitation abundance cannot resist. Let your heart remain an open gate, and watch as the universe pours its blessings through. Chapter 26. The Eternal Flame. In a modest village cradled by time, Cornelius, a potter, shaped clay with trembling hands, each vessel a reminder of his perceived weakness. His creations often cracked or collapsed, mocking his gentle touch. His heart grew heavy with repeated failure, until one morning an aging master potter visited his workshop. Watching in silence, the master spoke. The clay does not yield to force, but to the quiet strength of persistence. Guiding Cornelius's hands, he showed how each attempt, even those that failed, strengthened his connection to the craft. Your perceived weakness, the master said, is merely the space where strength is born. This truth illuminated Cornelius's path. What appears as weakness is the chrysalis of power emerging through patient persistence. In a distant hamlet, Opal began each morning writing 3 lines of gratitude, though at first her words felt hollow, her dreams distant. She persisted day after day until gratitude became her natural state. As her appreciation deepened, her small business, once struggling, flourished. Relationships previously strained grew stronger not through force, but through her unwavering commitment to gratitude. The universe mirrors not the intensity of your want, but the durability of your belief. Each moment you choose to continue despite doubt or fatigue strengthens the signal that calls your destiny forward. Science affirms this. Psychological studies on resilience show that consistent small actions build neural pathways for perseverance, turning effort into momentum. In spiritual traditions, from Buddhist teachings on diligent practice to Christian parables of steadfast faith, persistence is revered as a sacred flame. Socially, we see this in individuals who overcome adversity through steady effort. Think of inventors like Edison, whose thousands of attempts birthed the light bulb, or communities rebuilding through unrelenting commitment. Philosophically, this echoes Nietzsche's call to embrace struggle as a path to becoming, where persistence transforms weakness into strength. Cornelius began to see each cracked pot as a lesson, each effort fueling his skill. His vessels soon held a quiet beauty, drawing admiration from afar. Opal's gratitude practice turned her life into a tapestry of abundance, proving that the law of attraction responds to the steady pulse of devotion. Like water shaping stone through faithful presence, your consistent energy becomes a beacon for your desires. Your power grows not through dramatic gestures, but through quiet constancy, each step a spark feeding the eternal flame of your destiny. To embody this truth, practice this ancient ritual, light a candle, or imagine one affirming, "My flame never dies." Feel this truth, anchor your resolve like a lighthouse, enduring stormy seas. Let each flicker remind you that persistence transforms dreams into reality. This practice, passed down through ages, strengthens your connection to the universe's infinite momentum, guiding you toward your highest good with an eternal flame that never falters. Chapter 27. Web of Harmony. In a distant mountain village, Milton, a weaver, sat at his loom, his threads tangled and knotted. Though his hands moved with the skill of years, his heart felt scattered, disconnected from his work. Each morning he tried to create beautiful tapestries, but his inner fragmentation reflected in misaligned patterns and clashing colors. One morning, as sunlight streamed through his window, he noticed a spider's web glistening with dew, each droplet reflecting all others in an infinite mirror of connection. In that moment, understanding dawned. All of existence is one interconnected fabric, and recognizing this unity magnifies your power to create. In a neighboring village, Estelle carried deep wounds from years of family conflict. She began to see others not as separate adversaries, but as extensions of the same universal consciousness. This shift dissolved tensions. Where she once saw enemies, she now recognized aspects of herself playing roles in a cosmic dance. Her relationships healed, drawn together by her embrace of unity. The universe operates as a web where every thought ripples through the collective consciousness, touching all creation. When you align with this interconnectedness, your manifestations flow with ease, no longer struggling against the illusion of separation. Science supports this. Truth quantum physics suggests particles are entangled, influencing each other across vast distances, mirroring the interconnectedness of consciousness. In spiritual traditions, from the Hindu concept of Brahman to Native American teachings of the Great Spirit, all life is seen as one. Socially, we see this in communities that thrive through collaboration. Think of global movements uniting for change, or teams succeeding through shared purpose. Philosophically, this echoes Spinoza's view of a single substance underlying all existence, where unity amplifies creative power. Milton began weaving with a sense of connection, his tapestries reflecting harmony that drew admiration. Estelle's unity consciousness transformed conflict into connection, proving that your thoughts travel along the cosmic web shaping reality. When you see yourself as one with all your magnetic power, grows drawing desires effortlessly. Like a single thread strengthening the whole fabric, your intentions resonate through the universe's infinite tapestry. To embody this truth, practice this sacred ritual. Sit quietly and picture golden threads of light extending from your heart to every person, place, and thing. Feel yourself as part of this luminous web, inseparable from the whole. Speak your intentions into this web, knowing they ripple through all creation. Like a spider weaving with purpose, this practice aligns you with the universe's unity, amplifying your power as a conscious creator. Your manifestations flow naturally, carried by the web of harmony that binds all things. Chapter 28. Beyond the Veil. In a small valley town, Cornelia stood at her window each morning, questioning if she walked her path alone. Though she poured her heart into her craft, success danced just beyond her grasp, and she yearned for a sign that greater forces supported her journey. One evening, as twilight softened the world, a quiet realization stirred the most powerful forces. Love, faith, destiny remain invisible to mortal eyes, yet they weave the fabric of every moment. The universe operates primarily in the unseen realm, where seeds take root before blooming, where vapor gathers before rain falls. Before any dream manifests, it first takes shape in the formless dimension of pure potential. In the Western Hills, Lloyd, a craftsman, faced chronic pain that limited his work. Doctors offered no solutions, yet an inner urging prompted him to trust in unseen healing forces. Each morning, he acknowledged the invisible energy flowing through his body, and though he couldn't explain how his pain gradually dissolved, restoring his freedom. The invisible realm responds to your trust, its power activated by faith in what lies beyond sight. Like the air you breathe, sustaining life without being seen. Spiritual forces guide your destiny when you allow them to work. Science hints at this truth. Quantum mechanics reveals a world of unseen probabilities shaping reality, while neuroscience shows that belief influences physical outcomes, as in placebo effects. In spiritual traditions, from Christian faith in the unseen to Taoist trust in the Tao, the invisible is the source of all creation. Socially, we see this in innovators who trust intuition over evidence. Think of scientists pursuing unproven theories, or artists creating from inner visions. Philosophically, this echoes Plato's realm of forms, where the unseen ideal precedes the visible world. Cornelia began affirming the unseen forces supporting her, and opportunities emerged: a new client, a sudden inspiration, proving that faith bridges the visible and invisible. Lloyd's healing showed that trusting the unseen transforms reality. Your power lies in believing before seeing, like a seed, trusting the soil's embrace. When you release the need for visible proof, you align with the currents that shape all life, making the invisible visible through your faith. To embody this truth, practice this ancient ritual. Close your eyes and affirm, "The unseen works in my favor." Let these words sink into your consciousness like roots, reaching into fertile earth, activating your connection to the forces that shape reality. Feel the certainty that these currents guide you, like stars hidden by day, yet ever present. This practice, passed down through ages, opens the channel between worlds, aligning you with the infinite power beyond the veil, where your destiny is already woven, waiting for your trust to bring it forth. Chapter 29. Heaven on Earth. In the quiet of dawn, Adelaide knelt in her garden, yearning for a distant paradise, while overlooking the sacred ground beneath her feet. For years she placed hope in some future reward, blind to the divine whispers in each moment. One morning, as dew sparkled on her flowers, a truth unfolded like a petal in sunlight. Heaven is not a far-off realm, but a state of alignment accessible in every breath. The universe reveals its majesty through ordinary moments, each sunset painting the sky in celebration, every raindrop carrying renewal, the laughter of children echoing the music of higher realms. These are not mere metaphors, but doorways to transcendent joy available now. In a bustling town, Rufus discovered this truth while washing dishes one evening. As water flowed over his hands, he noticed the sacred in the mundane, the rainbow prisms in soap bubbles, the abundance of clean water, the satisfaction of creating order. Instead of rushing, he savored the moment, and this shift transformed his entire household. His children mirrored his reverence for the present, and harmony blossomed naturally. The universe conspires to reveal its divinity through the everyday your senses designed to perceive these revelations. When you truly see a flower or feel a breeze, you participate in creation's eternal dance. Science supports this. Mindfulness research shows that present moment awareness boosts serotonin, fostering peace and clarity. In spiritual traditions, from Buddhist teachings on the eternal now to Christian calls to find God in the present, this moment is the gateway to divinity. Socially, we see this in communities that thrive by savoring simple joys. Think of gatherings where shared laughter creates lasting bonds. Philosophically, this echoes Eckhart Tolle's power of now, where presence unveils eternity. Adelaide's garden became a sanctuary when she saw its divine beauty. Rufus's chores became sacred acts, proving that joy is not deferred, but found here and now. Your awareness bridges heaven and earth. Release the habit of postponing happiness for perfect circumstances. The gateway to bliss stands open in this moment. Like a river reflecting the sky, your presence reveals paradise in the ordinary. When you attune to the now, you discover what you seek has always been here, waiting for your recognition. Adelaide and Rufus's stories are mirrors, reflecting your power to find heaven in the everyday, transforming each breath into a sacred encounter. To embody this truth, practice this sacred ritual. Pause in your daily activities and speak with full presence. Heaven exists here and now in me. Let this truth settle into your bones, like sunlight warming the earth, awakening you to the paradise already present. Feel the divinity in this moment, as if the universe itself sings through your senses. This practice, passed down through ages, aligns you with the eternal joy that weaves through every instant, revealing heaven on earth through your conscious awareness. Chapter 30. The Crown of Alignment. In a vibrant marketplace, Matilda, a merchant, spent her days seeking validation from others, believing her worth hinged on their approval. Each morning she stood before her shop, watching customers pass, yearning for their recognition. Though she offered the finest silks and spices, an inner void persisted, her heart tethered to external praise. One dawn, as she arranged her wares, an elderly woman in simple robes approached, gazing directly into Matilda's eyes. "Why do you bow your head when you carry such nobility within?" she asked. "I am but a simple merchant," Matilda replied. "Look at the sun," the woman said. "Does it ask permission to shine? Does the oak request acceptance to grow tall?" Her words lifted a veil, revealing that sovereignty flows not from others' recognition, but from alignment with one's inner light. In a distant estate, Norris, a humble gardener, believed his position defined his worth. Yet he began to see the nobility in nurturing life itself. Embracing this truth, he approached his work with dignity, no longer just a gardener, but a steward of growth, a guardian of beauty. His presence carried such grace that others sought his guidance, his inner shift, inspiring those around him to discover their own worth. The universe responds not to achievement, but to the radiance you claim within. When you stand in your divine essence, life mirrors this elevated frequency, reflecting your innate majesty. Science affirms this. Psychological studies on self-concept show that embracing inner worth enhances confidence, attracting opportunities. In spiritual traditions, from Hindu teachings of Atman to Christian doctrines of divine sonship, your inherent nobility is a birthright. Socially, we see this in leaders whose authentic presence inspires. Think of figures like Nelson Mandela, whose inner dignity reshaped a nation. Philosophically, this echoes Sartre's view that we define our essence through choice, claiming our divine spark. Matilda and Norris's transformations show that your power lies not in becoming, but in uncovering what already exists within, like a diamond hidden in stone. Your crown was placed long ago. Your task is to remember it rests upon your head. When you align with this truth, the universe conspires to reflect your sovereignty. Matilda began to carry herself with quiet confidence, her shop thriving as customers were drawn to her light. Norris's dignity elevated his role, proving that your inner alignment shapes your outer world. Like a star radiating without seeking permission, your divine nature requires no external confirmation to shine. To embody this truth, practice this ancient ritual. Place your hand on your head and affirm, "I wear the crown of alignment." Feel this truth anchor your being, like a tree rooted in eternal soil. Let it remind you that your radiance is your birthright shining forth to transform your reality. This practice, passed down through ages, aligns you with your divine essence, crowning you with the power to create a life as majestic as the light you choose to embody. Conclusion: your presence here was no accident, drawn by an invisible thread of divine timing to these teachings when your soul was ready to receive them. Through each chapter you have witnessed the eternal dance between consciousness and creation, a sacred interplay where thoughts become electrical currents, summoning their matching experiences. The stories of Clarence Myrtle, Matilda, and others are not mere tales, but mirrors, reflecting your own power as a co-creator with the infinite. The universe, ever faithful, responds not to what you wish or yearn for, but to the energy you embody. Gratitude opening unseen corridors of fortune, trust fueling the engine of alignment, and love radiating as the foundation of all connection. This journey has revealed that destiny is not a distant prize to be chased, but a birthright woven into your being. Abundance, purpose, and peace are not treasures to hunt, but qualities waiting to be claimed through alignment with the universal law. When you shift into wholeness, breathing gratitude before evidence appears, and trusting despite outer appearances, reality has no choice but to mirror this elevated state as certain as the pull of gravity. Every setback, every storm has been secretly orchestrating your expansion, guiding you toward a path more radiant than you could have planned. As you step forward, carry this knowing like a flame within your heart. The universe has always conspired in your favor, its subtle currents aligning with the frequency you choose to embody. You are not a bystander, but a sovereign creator, crowned with the power to shape your reality through every thought, word, and feeling. Let each moment be an act of alignment, each breath a prayer of gratitude, each step a dance with destiny. Walk now with the certainty that the infinite is your partner, weaving a tapestry of possibility that unfolds with every choice you make to live as the light you are.